Okay, today I'm going to show you guys some tricks in compositing, which is a great thing to fool around with. The weird thing about compositing, if you don't understand the different modes, it's kind of a trial and error. And if you've used Photoshop, then you are familiar with the modes already because you do use them when you adjust layers. Like there's add, subtract, difference, multiply. Who here has used Photoshop? There's quite a few. So you kind of already familiar with it. And I'm going to show two tricks. One I used in my project. I wanted to put a film look on my project without it being just a ready-made plug-in. So I found some real film of 8mm film. And I want that texture on this clip here of this kid wiping out his skateboard. So what I would do is I would take this real film and drop it down. Well, the problem is two different aspect ratios, so I got to fix that first. So I'll double click on this, go up into the motion, and do distort. And then you can change your aspect ratio to fit your clip. So now everything's covered. Well, that doesn't do me any good because now I can't see the kid. So what I'm going to do is I'll go up into Modify, Composite mode, and for this one, normally I do overlay, but it's kind of bright and all the concrete's overexposed. So instead, I'm going to try multiply. And I like that look better. But I think I want to make this a little larger, so I'm going to maybe play with the scale a little bit. So I like that better. So you just kind of fool around with it.
You can also right-click to save
yeah.
it too.
Now, well, great. I have that look on there. I have all the specs and everything. But I want to change the color too without going in and color correcting. Because if you're doing a huge, like a bunch of different clips, you don't want to go through and add color corrector to each individual clip. So another thing you can do is create a matte color and drag it down on top of your clip. Well, now you can't see your kid again. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to change the color of this clip. First of all, you just go up into Controls. Let's see. And I want it to be kind of a yellow because I want it to look like old film or like sepia, however you pronounce it. So I kind of like that. And now what I can do is I can modify that clip as well, turn it into a composite, and I'm going to overlay it. So now I have this nice yellow tone on top of my clip. And from here, what's great is you can then adjust the opacities of these levels. So how much you see can be adjusted. So like if you turn on your line down here, you can do this right in the timeline. I can lower the opacity and there'll be less color. Same thing with the film, there can be less specs if I want less specs. So now your final project would look kind of like this. So it's great you have that film look without it being a film plug-in, so it's a little bit more realistic. And the more elements that you can find that you can film and put on your project yourself adds a lot to your project. And it's not as, oh yeah, that's a special effect, that's a plug-in that's in Final Cut. So the more personal touches you can do, the better. Another example of composite modes is multiply. And we saw this at the beginning of the course in a music video where there was a black shape with it was a woman singing on top of the background with the cheetah running by. Well, you can do that really easily with composite modes. So basically all you have to do is make sure you have like a black and white photo, because the way multiply works, it has to do with values. So if it's black, it won't show through, and if it's white, you'll see what's underneath it. So I can add that on top of there. And again, another problem with the aspect ratio, which is easy to fix. Just go into your motion, distort. Now I got to change the scale because it's not quite big enough. There. And then all I have to do, modify, composite, and multiply. And suddenly I have my video underneath, showing where the white is. And you can apply that to any video clip. You can add effects to the clip. change the threshold so that it's just black and white, and then anything you put under it will show through. And then your finish would kind of look like this. And that's a quick look at the different composite modes you can do, and it's just, you play around with it, and that's how you learn more about composite modes, because there's just endless possibilities.